All right, happy Sunday night. It is just about 8 o'clock on this Sunday evening. We are going to do a Facebook Live and check in here. So folks are checking in the comments in the chats. I'm going to make sure you can hear me as far as things go. I had a little trouble getting the chat to show up the normal way that I like to do it. So if someone can pop in the comments and let me say, hey, I can hear you, we're good to go, that will be helpful here. So I'll stand by and wait for that in just a second as we go. So there's a little bit of delay between the actual show and record. It's like a 10-15 second delay. As you're logging on too, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. And then in addition, as I step and grab my remote here, if you have any questions or things like that, we are going to answer those and take some time going through here for our Sunday Night Live. We'll do this every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. You can mark it in the books in your calendar. That way for you and I to connect and talk more about the weather and behind the scenes. So again, I see some folks saying they can hear me just fine. Fantastic. Glad to hear that. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a second. I do love giving some shout outs, so let me know where you're watching from as well. And then again, if you have questions, I'll be monitoring the comments here on my phone. So Melissa checking in from Arcola. Hey Melissa, hope you're having a great evening. Tanya says she can hear me just good. Trisha checking in from Tolono. Monticello, we got Karen checking in. She's got the top fan badge. Let's see what else here. Villa Grove, Steve checking in. Leroy, Jolie checking in. We got James and Oakwood. Hoopston, Rita checking in. We got Casey, Jesslyn checking in there. A couple more folks here before we get started. We got Kristen, a top fan badge for you, Kristen. Thanks for following WCIA. Muhammad, Southwest Champaign. Caitlin also has that badge. Again, you can get that badge by just interacting with our page and connecting with us, commenting, sharing, all of that. There's nobody that sits here and picks that. It's an algorithm that Facebook has, but a great way for some of our top fans to stand out. So again, thank you so much for choosing WCIA as your news and weather source. Let's go ahead and get started here and talk about some of the things we're going to do. Before I do that, though, I have this on my own Facebook. I do want to take a few seconds to talk about some strong storms in Mississippi. My last television market was in northeast Mississippi and west Alabama, and so we're going to just kind of talk about this system here that's off to our south. This is impacting our weather in central Illinois. We'll talk about that in a second. Looking close, though, a number of severe thunderstorm warnings coming into areas along I-55 from about Brookhaven up towards Canton. That's going to include the Jackson Metro. A lot of folks that watch that I was in the television in Columbus, Mississippi the last 3 years. Up in Columbus, these storms probably going to stay to the south here. We'll watch it. They did extend a marginal risk, a level 1 risk, towards Meridian, Kemper County, south of areas like Pickensville in Pickens County, Alabama. So there's a chance for some strong storms in central Mississippi. My friends watching in northeast Mississippi, west Alabama, not worried about that. Here in central Illinois, this system passes by. We are seeing cloud cover from that overhead. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Here's our plan for what's ahead, though, on Sunday Night Live. As you're joining here, we're going to talk about some space updates, some of the different things we watch, satellites passing and different events and whatnot. We do have the chance for snow showers coming. You'll want to stick around and hear what we think for that. And then we also will talk about a big nor'easter that looks to be settling up and how I think it's going to be stealing the headlines in the days to come for national news. So if you watch CBS National News, you're probably going to hear about a big snow event up there. We'll kind of talk about that here on Sunday Night Live. All right, let's jump on in here. Here's some space viewing. I know a lot of folks love looking at the stars, myself included. Doesn't look all that great Monday night and Tuesday night due to cloud cover. Wednesday night might be okay. I think the best night's going to be Thursday night if you're wanting to get out and look at anything. Friday night as well. We'll give it a yellow caution type of idea as far as it goes. You can't really see that lettering, it looks like. That's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll have to fix that for next time, but wanted to give you an idea. The best nights to view is probably going to be Thursday night this week if you're looking for stuff. All right, now the thing is we're wanting to look for stars. They're fantastic when the weather is calm and quiet. STARLINK satellites, we've talked a lot about this. We're going to try and update every so often when we think we have good viewing. The problem is this week with the cloud cover and the passing of STARLINKs, there's not really a good overlap. So we don't think there's going to be any good visibility for the STARLINK satellites. If you're unfamiliar with that, that's part of Elon Musk's plan with Tesla. They're wanting to launch broadband internet across the globe. And so they launch up satellites. They look like a string of pearls in the sky, and they move in a straight line, almost like some of those old-fashioned Centipede, that game you used to play on Windows 98 computer, just a straight line as they go across the sky. So we won't be able to see that, but maybe you've seen that before. That's exactly what it is. All right, what about the ISS, the International Space Station? The problem again with visibility and its schedule of orbit around Earth. We don't think we're going to have any good visibility of seeing the International Space Station over the next 5 to 7 days. If there's an update, we'll keep you updated on Facebook, of course, but usually we get a good view of it over 3 to 5 minutes when it passes by. It's just not lining up with cloud cover. This week not going to be that fortunate for us. Now the supposed Christmas star we talk about. It's not really a star. What it is it's two planets that are almost overlapping. Of course, there's a distance between them. You know, you look towards it, but from the view of Earth here, it gives it the illusion that they're coming together. Jupiter is one, Saturn is the other. On December 21st, they will essentially be almost in conjunction, almost on top of each other, what we call it. So we think the best time to look at that will probably, again, be Thursday night. You may catch it occasionally, but really I think Thursday night will be the way things look, be the best night for that. Hopefully December 21st, that's a good 8 days from now. So the following Monday, fingers crossed, we have a nice quiet night. If you got a telescope, it's going to be a really great view. It's not going to be some bright, star that looks like the sun shining at you, but you've seen it. A lot of folks have said in the comments they've been watching in the days to watch them come together. We had one lady said she's been watching since May as they close together. They finally will get as close as they can be on December 21st. That has not happened since the Dark Ages, the 1200s. I think it's 1226. We had a story on our website, and I'll be sure and reshare that late this week into early next week to remind you to get outside and look at something that has not had such good visibility in about 800 years. All right, let's jump into the weather a little bit. So we know that there's not a whole lot going on in space. If you're a stargazer, sky watcher, best night to look up is going to be Thursday night, maybe Wednesday night, maybe Friday night as well. Reason being is we're dealing with all this cloud cover. Here we go into Monday. During Monday morning, afternoon, we are dry and sunny. We'll get some sunshine in here tomorrow, but clouds are expected to fill back in by Monday night and Monday evening, Monday night across the region. We stay dry, though, Monday night and are likely staying cloudy on Tuesday. I think we're going to stay dry at the surface. It'll probably be cool out there, but here we go, Tuesday evening, still cloudy and dry out there. Not a good look at space. This is where we start to watch for something else falling from the sky. Not meteors, but hydrometeors. Snowflakes. When we think that may happen, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning is the best chance there. And you'll notice here, if you go later and later Tuesday night, it seems like it may hold off until after midnight, but we think there's a chance that midnight to 12 p.m. on Wednesday, midnight Tuesday night into 12 p.m. Wednesday, there may be a band of snow showers that sets up in the region here for some of us to get a little accumulation down there. We'll watch it. There's still some uncertainty in play here, but certainly is something exciting to look for. We haven't had a good snow. This isn't going to be a great snow, but it may give us a dusting or a slight coating for some of you snow lovers out there. You'll have to wait for the big event later on. I don't have any big events in sight, but we'll see. We're getting closer and further into winter, I should say. So it will come. Notice by Wednesday afternoon, the clouds are clearing out. Sunshine is returning. This is going to be the map I'll show tonight on WCIA 3 News at 10 o'clock. We'll talk a little more in depth about it. The better odds are going to be the south and east here. We're looking at the snow chances, isolated, scattered, numerous, and widespread. The better chance for some of these scattered to perhaps numerous snow showers is going to be along and southeast of a line from Taylorville to Champaign. More than likely, I think this band is probably going to set up along and southeast of Effingham to Paris, and that will be the best chance to get a dusting. But I'm going to say a dusting is about all we're thinking right now. No impacts are likely with this here. It will be pretty to look at when it falls, if it falls, in fact. And we're saying the best chance for light accumulation. If it's needed, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy will come out with a snowfall accumulation map as early as tomorrow evening, so you can check back with him. But at this point, we're not confident enough to say, yes, you're going to get snow. We're looking at this from a game of odds. What's the cards that I have in my hand to play blackjack here? What are the cards Mother Nature is giving us? And it seems like the best cards it's wanting to play from the cards we're able to see. Again, Mother Nature doesn't show all of her cards so far out, but each day or two we get a better idea. Seems like that Effingham to Paris line may be the best chance to get a coating or a dusting, particularly on grassy surfaces. I don't think it's going to cause any issues for roads. We'll wait and see. We could get a few flurries as far as Taylorville, Decatur, Champaign, Watseka. More than likely, though, we're going to miss out here. We're, again, focusing pretty much south and east of that line, primarily Effingham to Paris and southeast as the best chance. And I will say this right now, too. It's entirely possible we could have a swing and a miss in this one. We've had some festive flakes. We could end up with nothing with this system, too. It's a very fine and delicate line. Part of that is based on the track of the low. We'll talk more about that here in a second. First off, this is that rain that's going on tonight. I started at the beginning, and you can see that there. It is heading off to the east. We stay dry. We're going to see another system develop here, and this low passes to our south, again, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. On that north and northwest side, the question will be, one, how close does this low get to us? It looks like it may be weakening a bit as it goes to the east and south. And then number two is, one, we're talking moisture. Two, what's the path of that? Will it go a little more south or a little more north? That's going to decide where that northwestern edge ends up. We, again, are kind of leaning on that Effingham to Paris line as the best chance for maybe a coating or a dusting, at least seeing some flakes. So I'm reiterating that. I think some folks are probably hearing snow and thinking we're going to get 6 inches out of this. Absolutely not. Mother Nature may bless us with a dusting in some spots. Most spots probably going to be disappointed. I'm going to say that again and again to hit that message home, but it's the next thing that we'll be watching here. It carries off to the east, and then we are dry by Wednesday. Let's talk more about what happens here. Again, the low comes on in, and then we're going to follow it to the east here. What we think happens is it carries on in. We'll end up coming over the waters of the Atlantic, and when that happens, it seems like it's an optimal setup for a pretty powerful northeast snowstorm. Thank goodness we don't have to forecast for this, because these nor'easters, as they're called, can be very finicky and notorious. You can go from having 1 to 2 feet of snow to nothing in 50 miles with an event like this. And so this does have the chance to steal the spotlight, steal the show this upcoming week with the headlines, particularly Wednesday into Thursday, as far as what goes there. Here's, by the time Thursday afternoon rolls around, it has exited the region, some lingering snow showers perhaps behind, but the bulk of that nor'easter affecting places from Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, up towards Boston and into Maine, as early as Wednesday, Thursday. Some spots will miss out. Then there's that tight gradient here. We'll kind of show you with future snow totals. Here comes this first wave on in, just some light snow in spots. And again, we don't expect anything with that. It's this next wave that comes on in into Tuesday night and Wednesday. And notice right on the edge there, just a little bit in central Illinois, very minimal in general. But look at these bright colors start popping up here. We're starting to get towards the maximum on our snowfall totals here, and that's where you start to see the potential for, 6, 12, 18 inches of snow, if not more, if things play out like they're supposed to. I feel bad for a lot of Northeast meteorologists that are having to deal with this. Track of the low will depend, will really affect where that snow band ends up. But I really think you're going to hear a lot about this in the coming days, either as a big boom of a system or perhaps a bust. A boom meaning it's going to snow a lot in some big major cities. The bust side is the major cities miss it. It's more out into the mountains than anything. But we'll wait and see. It's going to be fun to watch as it carries off. And the uncertainty with this track of the low here also does play a role with that northwest edge of the snowband here. If we take a little more southern and eastward track, we may miss out on a chance for places like Paris, down to Casey, Effingham, out towards like Marshallville, Newton, down in Jasper County as well. Some of those places to get a little bit of snow there. So wait and see. If you're watching my hometown in Gibson City, probably going to miss out. Springfield, Lincoln, Clinton, up towards Bloomington, Normal, probably going to miss out this time around too. Maybe get some flakes into Decatur, and Taylorville, Champaign, Watseka, we'll see. And then the better chance to get to the south and east. So there are already some winter alerts out there. These purple color here, this is winter weather advisories, and that's for this initial round coming through southern Pennsylvania, northwest Maryland. The interesting thing is already this light blue area in southeast Pennsylvania and parts of New Jersey is a winter storm watch. That is in effect until Thursday. They're already talking about it and bringing awareness. I think by tomorrow morning, this map will probably light up a bit more. So you may wake up even tomorrow on the morning show and when CBS, CBS's morning show national. When that happens, that may end up being in the headlines. So we'll wait and see as far as that goes. So that's a little bit about that nor'easter, I think, again, going to steal some headlines. Here's a look at today's weather before we wrap things up here. The time now is about 8:15. We'll take 15, 20 minutes each Sunday night and just pop on Facebook. And again, if you have any questions, I'm going to try and answer those. If not, we'll wrap things up shortly here. We were in the 30s all day because of cloud cover. An interesting thing is cloud cover during the day keeps temperatures a little cooler. At night, keeps them a little warmer. That's exactly what happened here, keeping us in the 30s. If we had sunshine, we probably would have got low 40s during the day and dropped down into the 20s at night. On the 7-day forecast, there are some chances that we do get back into the low 20s out there. Some spots may even slip into the upper teens if Mother Nature has its way. We'll watch the cloud cover closely. Of course, I'll have updates on the timing as well as the 7-day forecast for you coming up on WCIA 3 News at 10. I know sports is busy with some things too. They'll be talking about some stuff. And we've got some news stories that have been developing as well. I know Mark and Jen are working on that. So you can join all of us for these updates here in a bit. But wanted to get the almanac out. The soil temperatures have been pretty much in the 40s. I know the farmers are keeping an eye on that, whatnot. They've been bouncing around a little bit. That rain we had actually helped to warm it up ever so slightly. We were down, I think, at 40 for a soil temperature last weekend when I was here. A little sunshine can help too, but that's where we're at. Okay, I'm going to check into the chat here. We've got some folks saying that as far as dish goes, I know there's two sides to that story. It's above my pay grade. Here's what I'll recommend to you, though. $10 can get you an antenna. You can get that at a hardware store or, any sort of supermarket or places like that carry things. $10 antenna will go a long ways. I grew up with satellite TV with my parents' house here in central Illinois, and every time it stormed, we always lost our satellite. So we had to switch to our antenna to keep track with severe weather. And that's usually the case for a lot of you folks on satellite TV. You know what I'm talking about. That's a good investment even now with for those of you on Dish. But if there's severe weather and you're watching in your Dish television, when there's severe weather coming on and if it comes overhead, those clouds and storms come on in, you may lose that signal. How are you going to stay connected with this? An antenna is a great secondary source to have in cases like that. I know my aunt and uncle, they live in Seidel, near Jamaica in Vermilion County. They got an antenna, and they've been able to keep up with the forecast here. So it's just a great secondary investment. I always encourage people as part of their severe weather safety plans, if they have any satellite TV, have an antenna to get our local signal or plan to watch, watch for social media updates as far as weather is concerned. But that's about all I can say on that. Other than that, we got some folks saying there's birthdays. Happy birthday to Caitlin on Thursday. Jesselyn is in Casey, Illinois, home of the largest rocking chair. Y'all have the big ball of yarn down there too, I think, don't you? It's been a number of years since I've been down to Casey. Metcalf, Edgar County. White Heath checking in. We got Villa Grove checking in. So a lot of folks are checking on in. All right, I'm going to sign off here and get ready for our 9 o'clock show. I'm going to try and see if we can't stream on our app the show at 10. I can't promise. I'm not totally sure how to do that, but we will see what we can do. I hope it ends soon. I really do, but those are folks way above my paycheck that are taking care of those things and whatnot. And there's two sides to the story and yada yada. An antenna, $10. It's a great investment, and that way if something happens, you can stay connected with us. All right, we're going to sign things out here for the rest of the night. Thanks for tuning in for Sunday Night Live. Again, plan on 8 o'clock every Sunday right here on the digital platforms with WCIA. We are streaming to our WCIA 3 weather app now. The news app is streaming this. You can watch on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are also streaming on Periscope through Twitter if you want to tune in and watch what's going on. So that is all I have for you. We are going to send it away, and I hope you have a great rest of your night here, and we'll be back with you next Sunday night at 8 o'clock for Sunday Night Live with Jacob.